All right, everybody. Welcome and happy Friday. It is time for Picks of the Week. Is that what time it is? Is it already that time?
It is for. I'm happy you're here because if you weren't here, then I wouldn't listen to this.
What?
I'm like your dad. No shop, no listen.
Oh, okay. And without you, there wouldn't be a show. No Joe, no show.
show.
My dad was telling me about that, and he thought it was really funny. Like
That's
the
good.
No Joe, no show, and the No Shop, no
That's
listen.
good.
He thought it was great.
That's good. That's good. I'm glad.
Picks of the Week, everybody. We did we already tell everybody what we were doing this week for Picks of the Week?
No, but they can read the title. They know.
Wait, oh, can they?
Yeah.
We should make the title like a clickbait title. It's like, what are the Picks of the Week? click the link to find out.
Underrated. And then have the thumbnail be a picture of Roman Reigns. That's how you
All right,
reel
guys.
it in.
We are doing underrated wrestlers. I didn't know if we were doing underrated wrestlers currently, underrated wrestlers in general, underrated wrestlers who are legends. Apparently, we're doing anything we want.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what I'm doing.
So I want to try to guess yours before we get into it.
Okay. Some would call him not overrated, but I think he's very overrated.
Some would call him
Or
not
underrated.
Underrated. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Some would call him not underrated.
Some would call him not underrated, but I think in a certain way he is underrated. So.
Is it Sami Zayn?
No.
Okay. Give me another hint.
This is like one of my most underrated guys like ever.
Chris Jericho.
No.
Ever. He's
Ever.
currently wrestling.
He's currently wrestling.
The Miz.
No.
Zack Ryder.
No.
Mojo.
No. Do you want me to give it to you?
I want you to give it to me.
So it's Randy Orton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people say Randy Orton isn't underrated because he's won the world title all these times and all that.
12
But
times.
if you think about it, this guy doesn't get nearly enough praise for what he does as far as his in-ring work goes. I think him and Kurt Angle stick out in my mind, especially as like guys who are so talented that only worked in one company and got their talent from one company. Kurt Angle obviously started in WWE after an amateur career, but he grew in there. He grew to where he was almost exclusively in there. So I think him and Randy Orton are up there as far as underrated homegrown talents go. But the reason I picked Randy Orton is because the dude is just so like slick and smooth with everything he does. And he puts on good matches. Now, a lot of people say he's too slow, stuff like that, which for a while there I would agree with, but I'd say his matches with Christian from 2011 really like opened my eyes to like how good he is. And since then he's been doing pretty well for himself as well. Now the thing is he's been around for a very long time. He's won the title so many times, but he's not really on that big of a pedestal. He had a marquee match with Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam, but I'm pretty sure that was mostly because he was gone for a while and he had just returned. I think that ordinarily wouldn't have happened like that. And even then he got destroyed by Brock, so it's no big deal. But he's very I just watched that match from TLC, the tag team thing with the Wyatts and Heath and Rhino, and the RKO he hits at the end. He just slides in the ring like he's so like slick, like a snake. Although that's
cringy.
Yeah, and I mean I didn't mean to say it like that.
Oh, it was pretty.
I
bad.
actually didn't mean to say that, but it just looks like it. He looks like a snake. That's what he looks like.
I'll give you that.
And even then He's had he main evented WrestleMania 30, but obviously he wasn't the focal point of that. He main evented 25, but he lost again. He's had. He reminds me a lot of like Dean Ambrose in that sort of way, where Dean goes where he needs to go, fills in a gap. Randy sort of does that too. He had a match with Kane at WrestleMania 28, and he lost. Can you believe that? The guy doesn't get nearly enough credit. I think his matches with Dolph Ziggler, Christian, stuff like that. He could put on some really great stuff, and people don't give him enough credit for his in-ring work. Probably because Probably because he spent the majority of the main event scene like feuding with, the same old, same old. I don't know. Maybe if they give him a bigger chance to like shine, I feel like he could pull out like a really surprisingly good match from some people. So I don't know.
He'll always be standing in John Cena's shadow.
Exactly.
Because John Cena and him came up around the same time, and John Cena became the bigger star.
Exactly.
Yeah. Poor guy.
I mean, that's just what you're gonna do, though. I think once he retires, though, people will look back on him and be like, "Wow, man, he was really good." So
yeah,
I think he's one of those guys.
He's even doing it's different stuff than he usually would do in his career right now. So
exactly. Yeah, I think it's fresh. So.
All right. So you think you have any chance at guessing who mine is?
Probably Cesaro is one of them.
Oh fuck!
I knew it.
Fuck. Was it that obvious?
Yeah, pretty obvious.
Hey, guess what, everybody? My underrated wrestler is Cesaro because have you seen the guy?
Yeah.
I know he has a push right now, but this guy has been in the company for longer than you would expect him to have been, and he's only won 3 titles, 2 being the same title, tag titles twice, and the U.S. Championship, and he won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
He is way better than that, and there are people who have gotten so much more than he has gotten, and he should have been not pushed to the moon. But if you are the best wrestler in the company or like top 3, you got to utilize him, and he doesn't get utilized. Before his stuff with Sheamus, I couldn't really remember what he was doing. Can you?
He was. Oh, he was just like a singles guy. I'm pretty sure. What was he doing?
Exactly.
I don't remember.
And I have read so much because, I don't know, whenever I like a wrestler, I read things about him, that there are so many people in the company, so many retired wrestlers, or so many people even currently and like who have great wrestling minds who know Cesaro, Claudio Castagnoli, and know his ability and know what he can do. And they know that they're not letting him do that. They've let him showcase it lately.
Yeah.
It's been since the Sheamus stuff that you're really like, wow. Like whenever they won the titles at Roadblock, it was a Cesaro showcase. Mm-hmm. He was throwing uppercuts everywhere, doing his swing, and he can do everything. Like he might be more than 205 pounds, but I bet he can move just as smooth, just as gracefully as in a match against a cruiserweight, but he could also put off his brute strength against a guy like Brock Lesnar, and I can guarantee you that he literally, threw the Big Show over the ropes a few years ago at WrestleMania, like one of the coolest moments from that WrestleMania. Yeah, the guy has power.
He's nuts. He's crazy strong.
He is so good at wrestling, and he's like one of the few people where like he even gets me to like. Because I like matches, but I don't get crazy over them. Like, I don't just go like, wow, like, super cool, yeah, woo. I'm more of the storylines and behind the scenes. I've said that a million times. But, like, a 5-star match won't always get me. I'll just be like, that was really good. Mm-hmm. This other match was really good, too, but it might not have been 5 stars. I don't know. But with Cesaro, he still excites me. Like, watching him do his moves, like, getting ready for the swing, like, all that stuff. And he's just so good at what he does. He's finally getting a push with Sheamus, which I love what they're doing with him right now. Even though he would have gotten counted out and lost the titles this week, but whatever. But either way, I like what they're doing with him right now. I hope he is able to shine in the way that he can, because he's only getting older. He's, I believe, mid-30s. He's a funny guy, too. He's got the character. I think he could handle himself well enough on the mic. I don't know. He's on Raw. I don't see them ever. Hopefully in the future, one day, he wins a world title. Because do you think he's someone who deserves that?
Yeah. Now that there's 2 world titles, definitely.
Yeah, but he's on Raw, so there's people like Roman Reigns who are going to be standing in his way.
SmackDown is definitely, like, if you want a guy to, like, I think, rise to the top, they go to SmackDown because there's less people there,
I don't know. I would love to see, like, world title matches with AJ Styles and Cesaro, Seth Rollins, Cesaro, stuff like that. We haven't gotten that kind of stuff yet, and I am remiss to not have seen that because he's a great wrestler and he honestly has like taken me. Like before I was just like okay on him, and I just think he's awesome. Like he's got the character, he's got the peak of technique, as his shirt says, and he's got everything that he needs. I think if given the time, which he is now, given more time, he could be a lot of people's favorites.
Yeah, if you think about it, like back in on the Stone Cold podcast with Vince McMahon, when Stone Cold called him out for Cesaro, like, why are you not doing anything with Cesaro? And he's like, well, we don't know if he's connected with the fans yet. And
the fans love him.
Yeah, I mean, that was a while. I think that was back when he was a Paul Heyman guy still, and no one knew what to do with him. But yeah, he's doing great stuff now. I think, if anything, this tag team is showing that he has more personality. And like I've been saying these past couple weeks, if there was a Money in the Bank ladder match involving Raw guys, he should win, definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. Think back to when he won the tag titles and we were there live, and like he walked into the audience and was like just celebrating with him. I know it's hard to say he's underrated when just
we were right next to him.
People loved him, but the company has to treat him like he is. And until that time, he still is underrated.
Right, he's definitely underrated.
Because tag titles, I don't know. There's a lot of people who have won tag titles before, and it doesn't exactly cement you as someone who's getting a big push.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, the primetime players had tag titles 2 years ago. And where are Titus O'Neil and Darren Young right now? Tell me.
Titus is embarrassing himself every week, and Darren Young is injured.
Yes. I wouldn't have known if Darren Young was injured, because either way, he wouldn't be on TV.
He actually just got injured, like, last week, so...
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Make your Darren Young great again.
Make Darren Young heel faster again.
Yeah. So that was another episode of Picks of the Week. Next week, you have a big old good one to look forward to because it will be the week of the Royal Rumble. Ooh. Therefore, we're going to be doing something pretty obvious. We're going to be choosing our favorite Royal Rumbles.
Yeah. Just one to recommend.
Our favorite Royal Rumble moments, favorite picks, favorite something, you know.
The Royal Rumble special.
The Royal Rumble. I'm just sick.
Me too.
All right. That was another episode of the Joe and Shop Show. If you are still listening, Dad, you got pretty far into this video.
I'm proud of you.
Why do you keep watching my videos?
I'm proud of you.
I bet my mom's sitting right next to him, and they're hanging out watching my videos. I love you guys, but wow, why do you do this? Doesn't this embarrass you?
I think it's pretty entertaining.
They literally come to me and are like, wow, this happened in that video. I'm like, stop, please. You're embarrassing me.
Oh, my God.
They literally commented whenever I was like, man, these guys are being douchebags. And my dad commented, give me their names. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great weekend. We might be, if this is going up on the 20th, which it should be, Donald Trump is president today, and we might be meeting AJ Styles. So
best of luck to all of you.
Best of luck to all. What do you mean? We're going to be fine.
Goodbye, everybody. I'm kidding.
Hey, you have a good one.